and then you have the follow-up from the Talia and the Rumble if you want it. CFO now looking towards their support. That counter pick for Kaiwing, it's the Nami. So before this year, if Kaiwing had ever played Nami, I would have said, nah, man, that's a loss. It's a free L. But from this year on, he is a volley from BDD, means that Doggo doesn't have to be worried about something like a seismic shove. The Winter's Bite doesn't find its mark. No concussive blows, no slows.
We're moving towards.
I mean, this Worlds has a lot of symmetry with 2017 Worlds. You know, you have T1.
Don't tell me that. That was a terrible.
It was, because Arden Sensors, we see a Scuttlecraft bite Peter, putting the Unbreakable down. It's going to get knocked up, almost falls, but dashes away. G.E.N.G dashes in with the audacious charge, manages to pick up the kill, able to survive as well, but Dogdam dashing forward for it. Honkyu's going to have to flash the wall, but Cuz is on the chase. The Wukong finds the kill in the jungle. 2-1 KT. Look to see if they want to take the fight, because of the push up towards that top side. They will force G.E.N.G back. Weaver's Wall coming out, seismic shove, crescent guard from G.E.N.G as he looks for the re-engage. Second grub secured there. It's CFO that get it. The fight continues as BDD looks for some damage from the side between worlds. Goes Honkyu, dives onto the backline, but the Cyclone already takes down one. Doggo so late to this battle. Cuz looking for that flash across the wall and dashes to the grubs. Call to the Forge God from Driver. Lands the knock up onto 2, but he's so low. Gets another double knock. Unbreakable is not enough to stop Driver, and Honkyu forcing another kill in. Dogdam starts to turn onto Doggo. Flashes across the Aqua Prism. BDD still so healthy. Honkyu trying to dissuade the enemy mid from getting on towards his backline. Cuz going in. Driver escapes. Doggo does too. Kaiwing does too, and somehow Honkyu gets his way away. Dogdam still looking for more. Honkyu dodges away, and in the end,
G.E.N.G is around, so CFO are absolutely considering it, but it's going to be so tough to work your way in.
Basically no flashes on either side as well. There's 3 available in the game. Perfect, Peter, and G.E.N.G, and Honkyu. As the Drake taken by Cuz. And CFO, I mean, it's spectator sport at the moment as the flash comes in with the Winter's Bite. G.E.N.G with the Crescent Guard, but look at the damage coming out from KT right now. They'll find 2, G.E.N.G force low. CFO trying to respond, but Doggo and Kaiwing are forced to...
Perfect is just kind of pushing once again. He's just pushing on that bot side, has the TP advantage. If no one's going to answer, they're just going to get the tower.
And I think that's where CFO needed to pull the trigger faster. Now it's Driver who might get caught.
A little bit, uses the Bella's Breath, gets the knock up onto the Braum. Aqua Prism coming across, Unbreakable down, Doggo Valkyrieing in as Driver's forced to flash away, and KT with the TP are going to have a 5v5 in a second. Tidal Wave out, Cuz looking at that second Cyclone, lands it, Doggo caught out first. The equalize on the backline, Nami has to flash away, BDD finds him. With an unraveled Earth through Hongju, trying to get in to the backline to get damage on Peter. He'll find one, but he's burnt where he stands. Roast rabbit for dinner for Perfect as KT once again come out on top in the fight. No ultimate right now as KT are going to fight around this Drake. It's a bit of a flank from BDD. The Weaver's Wall could split the team. G.E.N.G looking for the poke. Driver going in. Bella's Breath popped. The poke from CFO landing a little bit more. Honkyu, though, gets the weirding onto Perfect. BDD on that flank position, coming in through the bot side. The knock back with the Blast Cone pushes Honkyu into the face of BDD. The Drake down to 1,000, secured by G.E.N.G. Goes in with the Crescent Guard, heals up with the Sundered Sky, flashes away and somehow survives. Driver knocked back with the seismic shove. He'll pay for it with his life. The equalizer on the backline, though, is going to find another Peter looking for more with the Winter's Bite. And the stun on Honkyu allows Dogdam to get his second.
Start to get lax for a moment. That's where CFO can try and find these picks. Now, it's not easy, but definitely this is a team that will find them, but I think they're getting caught.
Man, this frontline Braum, I'm loving it. Glacial Fisher onto 2. The oysters are falling as KT collapsed. Driver stunned up, put another pearl on the necklace. KT to work your way through an Ornn, especially as an Ezreal who, although he is at 3 items, doesn't have that huge crit chance, doesn't have a huge amount of damage as they find the pick here onto Peter. Tidal Wave down, Peter's going to stand beside his teammate, but Honkyu puts him in his place. CFO find the pick, TP coming out from Perfect. Honkyu looking for a little bit more, Cyclone from Cuz, just to try and distract and dissuade the engage from CFO, but a great knockback onto G.E.N.G means that Cuz goes on a rampage. Driver now on the retreat with the rest of the oysters, but KT are not letting them escape easily. Doggo onto Dogdam! 80 for 80, and Honkyu adds another onto that receipt. It's 2 so far. Driver retreats. KT still looking for more as Cuz and BDD step forward, but do they have the damage? Do they have the gap closing to catch up with CFO?
This is exactly what we were talking about.
You've got a Seekers for Perfect. Their ability to delay a fight is absolutely massive. CFO pushing through the bot side to try and get a bit of priority to get into River.
And that's the risk. If you end up losing a fight here, there's already waves knocking on your inhibitor. But KT, they start up the Dragon.
Break begun by KT. CFO walking into fog of war, and war it shall be. Equalizer on the backline. Driver stepping forward. Kemtate secured the soul for KT, but is the fight going in their favor? A great flame spitter from Perfect with that Seekers goes golden, but then goes pop. CFO find one. The dive in from Cards onto Driver. They'll get one in response. GEN.G forced away. A weirding from Hongju, but BDD's on the flank as he looks for the damage. Can't quite find it with that threaded volley. CFO being shepherded down towards his bottom side. GEN.G looking for the engage. Doggo dived on, pops the barrier, but then it's put in the dirt. The dive as well from BDD. KT split the fight. Find 5 in the end.
Back. They don't have the Weaver's Wall quite yet to sync up with it. Maybe they want to wait for the next wave, but like that's 30 seconds, and oh, here we go.
Diving from GEN.G. Flash caught to the fourth drop from Driver. Get the knock up. Oh, Driver, that was gorgeous, but on the back line. Perfect, and Cuz dive in with the Cyclone. They find 2 for it. CFO pulled the trigger, but KT's reaction was absolutely sublime. They'll wipe away CFO. But there's not really much he can do in the face of 4 from KT. Cuz gives him a love tap as the Nexus falls, and KT go 1-0 up in this quarterfinal.
It's a great start here for KT. First win on the board. 1 out of 3 down to try to make it where they've never been before, the World Semifinals.
And to do so in such a fantastic manner, controlling the air. The killer instinct on the Kai'Sa. I would have probably preferred a bit more of a front-to-back team fighter than this Kai'Sa, but Nautilus actually going to be the pick in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of more standard. That is kind of the LCK style.
Is that not who KT are as a being, as a whole?
The roller coaster at some point can't keep ratcheting
Can
up.
Hongq avoid it? Peter, well, does he just want to invest the flash? BDD's so
Peter's
low!
just gonna look for the flash hook underneath the tower, but it's not gonna be enough damage from Hongq. Still able to flash away. Summoners exchanged between the Nort and the Azir.
Nice roam from Peter.
He uses the heal for him as well. Now BDD's gonna flash just to kill Kaiwing. Flash heal wasn't enough. Well, that's we're seeing exactly what this guy can do.
And what a lovable player he is. I mean, this is his first time, flying. If you haven't watched some of his interviews, do yourself a favor, go watch some. He is just a treat.
Great hook again onto GEN.G. Is going to put the subjugate down. Flash forward from Perfect. Death charge onto Hongq as well. But GEN.G already put in the dirt. The Troll King is down.
Be exploitable. 45 seconds until the Dragon. You could end up looking for him, especially with someone like Kaiwing. But there we go!
Depth charge. They get the knock-up. The quickness comes out, but it's not in time. Peter claims the kill, calling Captain Hook because he's sending Ionian cooldown boots for BDD being upgraded. They're going to set up around this red buff. Do CFO
Don't do it, GEN.G.
No.
Oh, GEN.G. He starts up the red. There's the hook, and GEN.G in the jungle sent to an early grave.
No, it is going to be an uphill battle, to say the very least.
Yeah, and you already highlighted the wave clear. It's a Rift Herald now as well. So you were already losing on the map. Now you doubly lose on the map, but Perfect might lose this.
Killer coming out. There's the Killer Instinct as well with the quickness. Everything invested. Perfect falls the shutdown to Doggo. A pick for CFO.
Because both Hongq and Kaiwing went to try and set up that vision on the bottom side. So now it's KT who are able to answer back because of that reset.
It's the same setup again. Rest is on his way across on the hunt, popped by Dogdam as they look for the chase. Depth charge onto Hongq, everyone survived. Dodged by the Cataclysm. Hongq not in the redemption in time. CFO lose their mid laner and now might lose the rest as they get chased down by KT. GEN.G on the flank, a 4v4 begins to erupt. It's Perfect, not TPing down yet. The redemption for KT will top them up. And in the end, they
to impress on an international stage.
Yeah, I mean, some of the teams that weren't giving them respect have already been sent home. Peter's looking for another play.
Depth charge down onto GEN.G. The pillar does not really going to stop anyone getting in, but a good quickness out from Kaiwing distracts the rest of KT. Kaiwing trying to dash back, but he's taken out by Dogdam. 1 down so far. KT can advance. Oh, a great hook again! Peter, what are you? He constantly finds the picks, and now CFO picked apart by this Perfect Nautilus. Perfect diving in for a Ruthless Predator. The Rift Herald charge coming.
They get the charge on another tower. It's 6k up, and yeah, they're just going to do Otacon on spawn again, because why not? Hongq has no teleport, and he's still dead.
He goes for it again. Rest steps in front of the bullet for Doggo. The knock back onto Peter, though, now slammed into the wall, and the rest of KT unable to respond in time. Doggo diving onto the backline, and Killer Instinct flashes the barrier. Doggo gets the shutdown. Cards Perfect and BDD still alive. Not much mana on BDD, though. They'll still be able to kill off Kaiwing. Hongq and GEN.G need to do it all. But Hongq doesn't have the damage. Otacon has been begun by KT. CFO still looking for it. They have the Emperor's Divide if they can find a way into this fight, but Hongq goes in, BDD pops a stopwatch, Otacon secured, Kaiwing with a good quickness finds 2 with a knock-up, but CFO now need to disengage. All their engaged tools have been used. Cuz diving onto that backline. Cuz taken out by Doggo. Perfect looking for it as well. But this dog who let him out, Perfect, shows him where the cage is at. Puts him back to the fountain. Only Honku left alive. As Perfect, BDD, Dogdam and Peter collapsed. It's an ace for KT.
There's nowhere to
the
run.
Only one really with 2 items that matter for CFO. As they try and step into the darkness, into that fog of war. The dragon resets, Rest using his health bar to try and gain purchase in the river right now, but KT keeping them at arm's length. Rest still stepping forward. The Drake how low, 7k. Kaiwing flashes for BDD, lands the quickness and the grand entrance, but with a flash away from BDD, Perfect dives in, and the chase goes in from Cuz. Cataclysm onto the backline, the Emperor survived from Honku. Everyone from KT falling below half HP, but then ow, with the redemption, they are topped up to full. For a moment, CFO looked like they may have found the fight, but the wallets are too damn heavy up. KT in dominant fashion are gonna make it 2-0. The scoreline looks at BDD, but the hearts were won by Peter. KT 1 game away from the promised land.
Again, control from start to finish. Desk, is there an answer available?
They look excited up there. So it is interesting, it is comfort, but it is also not the most easy comp to pilot.
Yeah.
That being said, if you are first to the objective as KT, trying to walk in through Ziggs poke and Zoe poke is going to be an absolute nightmare. And similarly, but maybe we'll get a bit more of a bruiser sign to have a bit more damage. That being said, there's not really any like super tanks over
as well, so potentially going to TP up to this fight. This is risky for a CFO.
Sleep onto Honku. BDD doesn't have a huge amount of mana. Grubs begun again by Cars. The flash! Headbutt pulverize! Oh, Peter, take a medal, take a prize, impaled under the tower. But he takes the enemy mid laner down with him. Rest trying to come in from the side. He's going to get slept as well. A perfect nap for KT to collapse as Dogdam takes the kill. Kaiwing chased out, make it 3. KT secure the feats of warfare.
But Dogdam is there. They have the extra member. They get the feats of warfare. And Honku's just caught snoozing. He is taken down from long range. He was shopping.
The first items are coming through very quickly for KT.
Yeah, it is really looking tough already as Kaiwing gonna get spotted and Peter's looking.
The sleep again. Honku's gonna have nightmares. Collapse from KT. And BDD claims his second.
Just excelling throughout the entire game.
And we've talked about it so often for CFO. If Gen.G and Honku can be on the same page, they can do work, but KT have shut them down perfectly. Dogdam flashes away, the headshot's not enough! The Peacemaker doesn't find its mark. Gen.G flashes finally! Finds the shutdown. Cuz now on the back foot. Ults away with that Heartbreaker. A magical journey for Gen.G onto Peter, but a double blast cone will get them to safety. As Gen.G might try and collapse on BDD. Ishtal's impact in, catches Peter, slams him into the wall. The rest of CFO trying to collapse, but there's the trample stun, a good impale through the wall. Cuz able to flash away, asleep onto that Skarner. Paddlestar just short of connecting. Spiraling despair on BDD, Peter falling low. Honku finds the kill, BDD still dashing forward with the portal, jumps in the end. CFO will back away with 2. An Infernal Soul with Ziggs and Zoe is not something you want to give over easily. Already down to 4k. Peter acting as a bouncer, Rest trying to get in. Gen.G going forward as well, but a good pulverize from Peter. The Drake stopped with a Temper Fate. The Sleepy Trouble Bubble not going to hit on Doggo. The smite from Gen.G finds it and impale as well. Spiraling despair for KT is perfect. Forced to flash away. CFO find the fight, find 2. Rest dives onto the backline, gets a double knock. Gen.G still looking for the chase. A satchel charge out into the flash. Edge of Ishtal won't go any further with that Ishtal's impact. An ace in the hole won't be enough, but Rest still on the chase onto BDD. Forces him back underneath his tower.
KT's poke is exceptional.
Look at Rest.
Poke lands and Rest want to keep this going.
He slept. Satchel Charge's going to knock him back. Decimating Smash there as well. Rest used the tunnel. He flashes back in! And Rest just slices them where they stand. He'll pay for it with his life. In the end,
Go behind. This Viego really needs that first reset. Yeah. And there's not any like point and click. You're not paired with a Syndra, an Annie, an Ahri, anything like that. So it's just everything is, does your poke land?
Oh my god! Oh my god, the Mega Inferno Bomb of Doom, and and Gen.G overstepping Peter with a great double pulverize onto the backline, and everything hits this time. Rest tries to dive in, but is put to sleep, and all he'll see are nightmares of KT. A triple in the end for Dogdam, another sleep landing, and the chase comes out from Perfect and from Dogdam. Hongchu is not done yet. Castle chasing down a heartbreaker, a stake through the heart of CFO as KT win out the fight.
It's a taster of what...
He's just point and click.
Peter caught with a tempered fate. And that cow might be going golden, but he is going to get skewered by CFO. The Otacon next TP's coming out as CFO trying to
rush it down. Don't allow KT to get set up. KT's comp is so weak when they're late to the fight.
And this is the scrappiness we were talking about for CFO. They don't want to give up the area. Dragon's there.
Oh, the damage onto Hongyu, spiraling despair though, into the net! And down goes BDD. Kaz on the backline gets the reset. He possesses that way, and the chase continues. Dives across the wall. Spectral Maw doesn't get the stun. Gen.G trying to retreat. Dogdam looking for that satchel. Another stun's going to land. And Rest has the flank. Dogger's there as well. Gen.G falls. And now the Skarner taken away by Kaz. Rest trying to get in, locked against the wall. And Kaiwing and Doggo leave him for the KT Wolves. They'll get the kills. They'll clean
World Semifinals. BDD, the only player on the team to ever make World Semis. And they're looking for a pick on Rest.
Rest trying to tunnel away, but Peter uses the minion line to try and get himself towards it. There's the knock-up, there's the trample, there's the drowsy, and there's Rest.
Still a BDD pushing to that bottom side, so CFO, they're not able to get the tier 2. It would be BDD who's able to pick up that objective, but CFO
Flash from Gen.G, Impale doesn't connect, but the damage onto Kaz will stick. Meanwhile, on the backline, Doggo has to retreat. Kaiwing doing the same. Perfect still, just standing as a meat wall in front of CFO. Gen.G's gonna fall first. BDD gets Hongyu, and now KT can smell their victory.
Until the potential last stand here of CFO. Can Gen.G come up with another hero steal?
Rest is in the top lane, pushing in for that tier 2. Does have the teleport and will use it. The Drake down to 9,000. BDD looking to see if he can find a sleepy trouble bubble. Lands it onto Rest. He can't join the fight. Tempered Fate on the backline. Battlestar just short. Dragon down to 4k. As KT look for the soul and knock back onto Gen.G. And again, it's Peter who keeps the enemy jungler at bay. Rest dives in, but the rest of his team are distracted by the cow. Now the chase in with an unstoppable onslaught. And if that's not a name for how KT have played this series, I don't know what is. Unstoppable from KT as they march down CFO and look for the semis.
No one expected KC to be one of the teams that could push themselves forward.
A valiant stand from them. A valiant stand for the LCP, but today is KT's day. Kaiwing can do nothing but watch as KT take the Nexus towers. The Nexus next, the KT coaster keeps on climbing. For the first time in history, KT are going to semis.
And what an incredible run it has been for KT.